Yeah, I mean, I've got a rash of for doing what I've been doing with my knee, including my girlfriend, right? And so,
including me.
Yeah, oh yeah, and the doctor told me you can do whatever you want as long as it doesn't hurt. And I'm like, all right, dude. And he's like, and I don't mean Snyder pain, like pain tolerance. He's like, but if you feel pain, you got to stop. So I'm fly fishing, right? We're drifting, we're floating. I'm going to the gym twice a day, and I'm like, hey, it doesn't hurt, so I'm not stopping. And you've said, look, kid, you're gonna yourself up. I did the same thing, and I've tried to be careful, but I'm also the guy that I want to push it as far as I can because I hate losing ground, right? I don't want to lose ground.
Just say you hate losing.
Yeah, people. There's a lot to that, and I mean, I know we're gonna do another podcast at some point, human performance, mental toughness, or whatever. But people ask like, hey, what's your biggest fear? Failing. I hate failing. And when I say that, I'm not great at filing my taxes. Probably going to fail at that. I'm going to need some help. But when I want to do something that I want to do, it's really not a matter of winning. It's that I hate losing, right? I mean, and people are like, what do you mean? And it's like, look, if I put my mind to something, I am psychotic. Same way I picked up a stick bow or whatever else. I am psychotic to become the best that I can be. And I am not good at losing. I've never been. I mean, I'll flip a fucking table over in a game of Candyland. I hate losing. But I've also found I do not function well around people that are not like that. Yeah, like I have a hard time.
Yeah, same. I mean, I hate to be that way, but I run with alphas, and to the point of my wife is as big an alpha as I am, and there's no way it would work if she wasn't, because I don't run over her and she doesn't run over me, but there's times somebody is the house commander and it's not me. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But no, the whole, just to contrast this for those that don't know, when Aron's talking about walking 9 miles in, I just want to paint the picture. We're talking elevations that, start at 3, 4, 5, 6, 7,000 feet. And we're talking just rugged terrain, the up, down. We're not talking, East Coast beach walking, folks. And we're talking heavy packs. Every foot placement is important. And there's not a person that has followed this guy in a hunt that's not saying these 3 words. Fuck you, Snyder.
Yeah, I hear that a lot. Actually, yeah. And, it's funny, too, though. Like, there's certain things. Like, if we go to the gym, like, I went over to get on that, basically, whatever row. And you had 4 plates on. And when I looked over, I was like, I got to hop on that. And I was like, I don't want to embarrass myself because I'm not sure I can pull 10 reps out of the weight he has on. And that fucker's got me by 10 years, right? And so there's certain things that I'm going to excel at, right? And there's certain things I'm not. And when I say that, meaning like the big picture here is like, okay, whatever someone's trying to do, you do it. Like, be the best at what you're going to do. So when I go into the mountains, one of the things is not necessarily just my physical fitness ability or whatever being on the mountain is you got to be able to turn your brain off and become friends with pain, and you'll never be alone. And the thing is, you're not going to die, right? And getting that through to people is like, look, you may be in pain, but I promise the moment you stop, that's gone. I mean, you're not going to remember that forever. You might think about it occasionally, but the one thing I do know is if you give up on something early, you'll be driving on the way home, coming back from a hunt 4 days early, and before you get to the airport, like, man, I can't wait to get back there, right? I hear that all the time. And so the thing is, turn it off. You won't fucking die. And even on your climbing, right? You've got 65, 85 pounds in your back. What's the worst that happens? You're a little more fit and you sweat it. Just get to the top of the fucking hill, right? It's not that big of a deal. It just takes a long time to get there mentally to where you can just suck up the pain. So.
But and people, so 2 things on that conversation. So the best way I describe alphas from my line of work has always been, this is the funny thing, and anybody that has been in our community is going to laugh at this one. Hey, let's just go for a slow run.
Yeah.
Okay, we're going to go for a slow run today. And you get 4 or 5 of us out there, and you notice this dude's chest is in front of mine, and I'm going to pick it up. Oh, this dude's in front of me, and I'm going to pick it up. And this slow, supposed to be freaking 9-minute mile, let's go chill run and let's chat. All of a sudden, you're in Sabino Canyon in Arizona, running up a freaking hill in the desert at a 5:30 pace.
Yeah.
Because I'm not letting this motherfucker get in front of me. So yeah, I mean, it's one of those where that is, first of all, when you're with the ultra alphas, that's always the thing. But the individual thing to get there. I used to sit on a lot of screenings to assess guys to come into our unit. And there's two types of guys. There's no in between. The guy comes in front of me, and I can tell you right now, this is either type A or type B. Type A guy is, if I walk in front of him and I punch him in the face, he's going to fucking cry. Type B guy, I don't care what his size and demeanor is. If I punch him in the face, he's going to come back at me swinging. And I only want the guy that's coming back and swinging, because even if he's going to get his ass beat by me, that's the guy I want. He's a fighter. He's in. He's all in. Whereas the guy that's just going to sit there and cry, he is going to quit. And you know this as well as I do. Once you quit once, quitting becomes easy. So,
and I'll tell you how psychotic I am, and this is not to pump my own tires. I'm just trying to explain where my brain's at. I was on a hunt with Mike and another guy, Dan, and it was Mike's hunt. We're, I don't know, 12, 14 miles in the wilderness, and it's snowing, right? And there's snow on the ground, and I'm going up over a 13,000 foot summit, right? I'm going up. They're behind me, and I see a dude come over the ridgeline. We don't know him, and he's maybe 100 yards in front of me, paralleling me. And I turned on the burners, right? And I just smoke it to get to the top of the hill. So we get to the summit, and then Mike comes up, and Mike's like, "What the fuck, dude?" And I was like, one, I'm not fucking losing. And that dude definitely was doing the same thing I was. He was watching me. Two, I want to know what that dude's competing against. And he's like, competing? And I'm like, I want fucking him to know he's not going to beat us to the top of the mountain. Now, this is fucking psychotic, right? It's just how my brain works. And I'm like, look, dude, if that was me and I just had a guy parallel me and he fucking crushed me up the hill, I'm like, that's going to make me wonder, like, who the fuck is hunting back here with me? Mike was literally like, dude, you're an idiot. And I'm like, dude, it's fucking in my brain. It doesn't come out, right? It's not like I'm like, oh, today I'm going to let that dude, I can't do it. Now, I'm not saying there's not a ton of dudes that can beat me, but that's just how my brain works.